Hello and welcome to Spinster's Library. I'm Claudia and this is the My Pleasure book tag. This tag was created by Steve Partridge and I was kindly tagged by Mel from Mel's Bookland Adventure. Let's just get straight into the prompts. The first one is Think, and it is about a book that made you think hard. My answer for this is going to be really quite boring, and it's this book here, The Craft of Research, by Wayne C. Booth, Gregory G. Colomb and Joseph M. Williams. This is like a sort of beginner's handbook to research. It's very practical, very dry, but very useful. Certainly makes you think if you are a researcher, and I do turn to this quite a lot. So there we go. Possibly the most boring answer to a tag question ever. Let's get on with the next one, which is Love, a book that broke or mended your heart. I've spoken about this one quite a lot recently, and it is Kazuo Ishiguro's The Remains of the Day, one of the standout reads for me this year. This is so subtly written, but the author has such an amazing style that every sentence packs a punch, and there are two sentences in particular that absolutely shattered my heart and made me cry like a baby while I was reading it. This is just so beautiful, so subtle. Like, the humor is very subtle, the sad bits are very subtle, the plot is very subtle, but like I said, it really packs a punch. The next prompt is Eat, a book that nourishes you. I'm sorry, I'm trying not to talk about Harry Potter in every single video, but it has to be Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. This is my favourite Harry Potter book, not just, but partly because it is 1,000 pages long. And it is the book that I turn to the most when I feel drained and depleted, maybe because there is so much misery in this book that it makes me feel better about myself and my own life. Yeah, just love it. Next we have Laugh, a book that brought a little comic relief. So one of the funniest books I read recently is The Princess Bride by William Goldman. I know a lot of people are fans of the film. I've only seen the film once, and I'm not a film sort of person, so I never have really strong opinions on films, but I did really enjoy the book. I thought it was very funny, very weird, very interesting concept. If you've seen the film, definitely read this because you'll love it. If you've seen the film and disliked the film, maybe give this one a go as well, because the style is quite different. I would say the unique selling point of this book is the fact that it is a book and the way that it's written as a book. It goes very meta quite a bit. So even if you dislike the film, I would recommend giving this one a go. Next, we have Sex, a book that explores or contains sexuality that doesn't make you cringe. So I've picked up Maurice by Ian Forster here, but really you could put any Ian Forster novel in this because sexuality is a theme in all of his books that I've read so far. Maurice is where it's most obvious because it is about a homosexual relationship in the early 20th century. It's quite frank and it is quite raw in a way, while still having that beautiful early 20th century style. Even though this book was published in 1970, it was written before the First World War. Next we have Rest, a book that gave you peace, reflection, or just calms you down. So I've got another classic here. This is The Happy Prince and Other Tales by Oscar Wilde. This is my little red reclam edition, meaning it's an English original text with some vocabulary explanations, and that's because I first read this when I was probably 13 or 14. And this is a short collection of pretend fairy tales, I guess. They're very arty fairy tales. It's a very short book. I think there are five fairy tales in all of this. My favourite is called The Remarkable Rocket, and it's a really funny little tale about a rocket with an ego problem. Finally, we have I can't read my handwriting. I think it says Experience, a book that introduced you to a new subject or shifted your perspective. So the most recent book that did that was Pimp by Banyard. I read this together with my husband. It's his book, he bought it, and we also did a video discussion together about this, which I'll link up in the video. This is a kind of alternative look at the issue of prostitution and sex work from a legal and a humanitarian and a feminist perspective. I still don't know what my position actually is on this after reading this book, but it has certainly shifted it from my comfortable thinking of pro-sex work all the time. So this is it. This was the My Pleasure book tag. Thank you again to Mel for tagging me. I am going to tag Laura from Paperback Winter and Cara from Wilde Book Garden. I am very interested in hearing their picks for this tag. Thank you for watching. Bye.